Hello, NACC fans. Welcome back for season number 2 of covering NACC men's basketball. I hope everyone's doing well. Everyone is safe and healthy, and all their family and friends and student athletes and everybody at the NACC administration is doing well. Want to jump right into it. Obviously, it's a little bit different year. COVID-19 is ruining a lot of things for all of us. The biggest thing right now is just making sure that everybody is healthy and safe and doing as best as they possibly can do and keeping those around them safe and healthy as well. But jumping into the good stuff, we are back with NACC basketball. It's exciting, all things considered, and the worrisome that everyone had of whether or not we were going to have athletics. If so, what was it going to look like? And it looks like the NACC has rolled out a really good plan, and I'm excited to watch some good basketball this season. We are back 2 divisions, North Division and a South Division. Those remember the early days of the NACC. There was 2 divisions. North Division, still the same, all made up of the Wisconsin schools, and the South Division, which is made up of the Illinois schools. So exciting, glad to be back with it. Obviously, things are going to be different, but the main concern is just keeping everybody safe and having as productive and healthy of a season as we can possibly do. And I'll get more into this, but Illinois Tech has opted out of the 2020-2021 winter season. Hopefully everyone there, administrations, coaches, and student athletes are healthy and safe, and hopefully they will be back, and everyone will be back next year with a normal season and normal circumstances. With going back to 2 divisions for the year, curious to see if the NACC stays with that, or if it goes back to the round robin, playing 20 conference games, or figuring out a similar plan. But top 4 teams in each division make the NACC tournament. So 8 of the 11 schools, and with that, the North Division will play each other to figure out who wins the North in the NACC tournament, and same for the South Division. They will play each other to figure out who is going to play for the NACC tournament. So the winner of the north side of the conference tournament will play the winner of the south side of the conference tournament. So a little bit different than back when there was 2 divisions. You had 2 divisions, but back then everybody was playing each other. In your division, you played everybody twice, and then you had crossover games where you would play the other division once. And then when it came down to seeding, it would go to head-to-head matchups, and so on and so forth. So a lot of different tiebreakers there, but here it's just North Division playing each other and South Division playing each other to keep everybody safe, and obviously traveling long distances and cross borders, trying to limit any possible exposure to the COVID-19 virus. But we're going to jump right into it. North Division, again, made up of all the Wisconsin schools. We will start off with Edgewood College. They finished the 2019-2020 season with an 8-17 record overall, 7-13 in the NACC. Coach Meyer has started his 9th season leading Edgewood College. He's won 71 games, 62 of those in conference play. 4 NACC tournaments, including the NACC Championship in 2013-2014. He has spent a lot of time on the Edgewood bench. So great coach there. Edgewood returns 7 seniors and 4 juniors on the roster. They are led by 2-time NACC All-Performer Jake Nagus, who was second-team All-NACC last season. He scored over 1,100 career points, averaging 15.6 per contest last year. Along with Mr. Nagus, you have Ryan Buss and Avery Lyons, both starting at least 19 games last season. Buss started all 25, averaged 10.6 points per game and 5.3 rebounds, while Lyons started 19 games and scored an average of 8.4 points per game. Senior Matthew Myers made 8 starts last season, and senior Jake Graff had 6 starts. Last year for 2019-2020 season, Jake Nagus was second-team All-Conference, where he was joined by Ben Seafield, who is not on the roster this year. I'm hoping that he is safe and healthy. It's just over concerns of the COVID virus. Hopefully he's doing well. But he was named second team All-NAC last season. Edgewood, a lot of respect for their administration, along with all administrations in the NAC. But Edgewood was able to find a way to play games in the first half of the school year. They are currently 2-2 on the season. They opened up with a win at Northwestern Minnesota, 71-63. Then went on the road and won at Warburg, 71-70, with a game-winning 3. Took a tough loss at Dubuque, 99-69, and then lost last night to the Loras Duhawks, 67-65. Another pretty close game, really good game, and it's exciting. One, it's exciting to see Edgewood pretty healthy, and Jake Nagus back in the lineup consistently. Hopefully, knock on wood, that stays the same. But your 2020-2021 Eagles are led by Jake Schrockenthaler, leading the Eagles with 14.5 points per game and 6 rebounds. Jake Nagus is second with 14.3 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and just under 4 assists. Jake Graff is also rounding out double digits with 12 points per game while shooting 53% from the three-point line. So for those student athletes and coaches, if I mispronounce any athletes' names, last names, definitely let me know. Want to make sure I get that corrected as the season goes on. So I certainly apologize if I've butchered that name right there. Edgewood continues a non-conference game this Saturday against Rockford University on January 23rd, and then opens up North Division play again at Marion January 29th and 30th. Just want to caught my attention there. Just want to let everybody know that in their division games, everybody is playing back-to-back. So they will play the same team at the same location Friday and Saturday. Moving on to CU Dub. The Falcons finished up the 2019-2020 season with a 19-10 overall record, 15-5 in the NAC. Earned the NAC AQ by winning the NAC conference tournament over MSOE. They did come up short in the first round of the NCAA tournament against UW-Platteville. Coach Cassidy is in his 14th season as a head coach of the Falcons. He's the program's all-time winningest coach with a record of 220 wins and 130 losses, which includes a 165-73 record in conference play. They posted an impressive 102 wins to just 40 losses at home, which is tough, right? Tough. No easy games in the NAC, but he takes care of home court. Coach Cassidy has also coached his team in the NCAA tournament 3 times, 2 NAC conference tournament championships, 3 NAC North Division titles, and 2 seasons with over 20 wins. He's also, which is really cool, the CIT, Concordia Invitational Tournament, made up of 4 different Concordias: Concordia, Nebraska, Concordia, Ann Arbor, Concordia, Chicago, and Concordia, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, that is canceled this year, but it is a great event to see. I've yet to see it in person, only seen it on live stream, but it is great to see, and he's won that tournament 4 times. The Falcons return leading scorer Jordan Johnson, who averaged 19.3 points per game, 2.9 assists per game, and 6.1 rebounds. Joey Zietlow returns as well, 13.9 points per game, 5.1 rebounds. Brandon Keller, another double-digit returner, 11.9 points per game and 7.3 rebounds. And Jared Jers, returning after averaging 10.8 points per game and an outstanding 6.8 assists. Johnson and Jers were both named first team All-NAC last season. They did open the season this year with a 96-84 win at home against Loras. Jordan Johnson led the Falcons with 21 points. Jared Jers with a double-double, 13 points and 10 assists. Joey Zietlow with 19 and 5, Brandon Keller with 14 and 9, and then Garrett Hoffman with 14 and 5 off the bench. CU Dub does have 2 non-conference games against MSOE and at Benedictine before opening up North Division play at Lakeland on January 29th and 30th. MSOE, the Red Raiders, Finished the 2019-2020 season with a 15-13 record overall, 10-10 in the NAC, and earned a 5 seed in the NAC tournament. They did come up short in an incredible game, 80-75 overtime loss to CU Dub in the NAC championship. Coach Miller at MSOE has a record of 272 wins and 166 losses for a winning percentage of .621. Overall head coaching record at his time is 356 wins. Conference record at MSOE is 164 wins to 100 losses. He's had quite a bit of success and coaching a ton of talent. He's had 3 student athletes named CONSIDA Academic All-Americans, 13 All-Conference players, 5 All-Conference second team members, 2 NAC Player of the Year awards, and then 2 NAC Defensive Player of the Year winners as well. Michael Petroff returns after averaging 15.3 points per game, 3.4 assists per game, and 5.4 rebounds per game. Josh Herzog is another Red Raider that returns after averaging 8.5 points per game, 2.6 assists per game, and 3.4 rebounds per game. Matt Kermsey was named first team All-NAC last season, and Michael Petroff was second team All-NAC as well. The Red Raiders open up the season with a 90-71 win against Maranatha. Will Bush, off the bench, led the Red Raiders in scoring with 15. Josh Herzog with a solid all-around game, 14.7 rebounds, 5 assists, and Michael Petroff with 14 as well. In the game, 15 of the 17 Red Raiders that played scored. So again, showing their balance, which is nothing new for MSOE. They do have a non-conference game at CU Dub and Maranatha before opening up North Division play at Wisconsin Lutheran January 29th and 30th. Moving on to Marion, who finished last season with a 4-21 overall record, 3-17 in the NAC. Coach Diener is beginning his 3rd season as a head coach at Marion with 11-39 record overall. DeAndre Ross is the top returner this season. Last year he averaged 9.9 points per game and had 47 total assists and 18 total steals. Matt Hickey is a sophomore. He averaged just over 5 points per game while shooting 71% from the field. Scott Paulus averaged just over 5 rebounds and had 29 total blocks as well as 14 total steals. Marion opens this season with a non-conference game against Maranatha before hosting Edgewood for North Division play on January 29th and 30th. The Muskies of Lakeland finished last season with a 13-13 overall record, 11-9 in the NAC. They did earn the 4th seed in the NAC tournament, but lost to MSOE in the quarterfinals. Coach Schrader enters his 4th season as a head coach of Lakeland with the 41 wins and 36 losses for his career so far, and is 33-27 in the NAC. If you look at a lot of their stats and during his time, they are well known for their great three-point shooting. Couple top returners returned for the Muskies. Trenton Nickel, senior, he was second team All-NAC last season. He was a 6'1" guard, leading the NAC in three-point percentage of 50%. He also averaged a career best 10.2 points per game. Jigan Pegis returns as well. The 5'9" guard averaged 11.3 points per game, 4.1 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 steals last year. Last season, the Muskies had Carlos Campos and Trenton Nickel both on the second team All-NAC. The Muskies opened up the 2020-2021 season with the 97-76 win over North Central Minnesota. The Muskies were led by Aiden Polzen with 24 points off the bench. Lewis Earl with 16 off the bench as well. So solid scoring for the Muskies off the bench. They did have 4 starters in double digits. Tylen Huff with 16, Trenton Nickel with 13, Cam Yeager with 13, Jaglan Pegis with 10. Nickel and Pegis both had 6 assists each. They have a non-conference game at Northwestern Minnesota before hosting CU Dub in North Division play at the end of the month. Rounding out the North Division is your reigning co-NAC champs, Wisconsin Lutheran College. They finished the 2019-2020 season with a 19-7 record overall, 16-4 in the NAC. Like I mentioned before, they were co-NAC champions with Benedictine. Did earn the 2 seed, but lost to CU Dub in the NAC semifinals. The reigning NAC Coach of the Year, Coach Onison, in his 4th season as head men's basketball coach at Wisconsin Lutheran. They've increased their win total each season under Coach Onison. He's mentored 4 players who have earned a total of 6 all-conference honors. They did have a big loss. Andrew Brungnick was named NAC Player of the Year, first team All-NAC. Alex Van Crete does return after being named honorable mention for Wisconsin Lutheran last season. Alex Van Crete is the leading returning scorer with 10.8 points per game and 5.1 rebounds. Drew Bernhagen averaged just under 10 points per game. And Zach Zollinger averaged just over 8 points per game while shooting an outstanding 65% from the floor. They do open North Division play at MSOE at the end of the month as well. So again, that's the North Division. You have Edgewood, Wisconsin Lutheran, Marion, Lakeland, and MSOE. Moving on to the South Division, we will start with the co-NAC reigning champs, Benedictine. They finished last season with a record of 20-7, 16-4 in the NAC, earned the number 1 seed, but fell short against MSOE in the semifinals. They did earn a way into the NCAA tournament last season as well. So got 2 teams in, with Benedictine getting in that large bid. Coach Bunkenberg enters his 26th season as the head coach at BU with a record of 44 wins to just 250 losses overall. He is 175-81 in the NAC. He is the all-time winningest coach in BU history. They have 7 consecutive winning seasons and have been in the conference tournament 12 of the last 14 years. And then also recently, Coach Bunkenberg was named to the IBCA, Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, Hall of Fame. So congratulations on that, Coach. A very well-deserved honor. For the 2019-2020 season, Kenny Bogus and Eric Rigo both earned first-team All-NAC. But even though they lost 2 top starters that have been a part of the program for what seems like forever, the Eagles do return Kyle Graebner after averaging just over 11 points per game. The freshman of the year in the NAC last year, Nick Kosich, averaged 10.6 points per game last year. They did open up with a tough loss this year, 73-72 in overtime to Trine at home. Freshman Trevor Montiel led the Eagles with a double-double in his first game of the year, 16 points and 11 rebounds. Michael Johnson and Chris Hester both scored 15 and then had 10 different Eagles score. So very balanced there, a lot of depth with a team that's still figuring things out with a lot of new faces. They do have a non-conference game against CU Dub before opening up South Division play at Concordia, Chicago, and January 29th and 30th. Aurora University. The Spartans finished 2019-2020 season with a 10-15 record overall, 9-11 in the NAC. They did miss the NAC tournament for the first time in program history, and also had the first losing season since 1992-93 season. But Coach Airy returns for his second season at Aurora after spending time at his alma mater, Whitman College, as the associate head coach. They do return quite a bit of talent as well. Bailey Vance was second team All-NAC, and Will Hughes earned honorable mention for the 2019-2020 season. Bailey Vance is the top returner. He was second leading scorer last year with 12.9 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game. And then sophomore Shamar Pumphrey averaged 10 points per game and 3.2 assists as a freshman last season. They do open up the 2020-2021 season and South Division play, hosting Dominican on January 29th and 30th. Dominican, a team that had a very good year turning things around. They finished last season with a 11-14 record overall, 7-13 in the NACC. 8-game win improvement from the previous season. Coach White enters his 23rd season as a head coach for the Stars. Jackson Smith was named first team All NACC last season. There was no roster posted, so I'm waiting for an updated roster on that to see who all returns. The team that on paper last year had a lot of returning players, so hopefully everyone is back and healthy for the Stars. Concordia Chicago, just down the street from Dominican, they finished last season with an 8-17 record overall, 7-13 in the NACC. Coach Kohler enters his second season as a head coach of the Cougars. Previously was a head coach at Blackburn. Rashawn Amos was named first team All NACC for the Cougars last year. Top returners this year, Brent Hatton returns for the Cougars after averaging 10.2 points per game and 3.9 rebounds. Isaac Ruddle averaged 7 points per game and 5.2 rebounds. The Cougars were supposed to open the 2020-2021 season against Loras, but had to cancel. They are currently scheduled to open the South Division, hosting Benedictine at the end of the month. Rounding out the South Division is Rockford University. The region finished the 2019-2020 season with 11-14 record overall, 9-11 in the NACC. Coach Regal begins his second season as a head coach of the Regents. Previously was the head coach at Presentation College. Brandon Emmerich, senior, was named first team All NACC last season. He is returning after averaging 16 points, 3.5 assists, 3 rebounds, and had a team-high 79 steals. Cavante Shaw returns for the Regents as well with 10.7 points per game, 4.4 assists per game, and 5.4 rebounds. Vincent Eugene and Ashton Singleton return as well after averaging 8.9 and 7.1 points per game, respectively. So 4 starters return for the Regents. But here's the kicker. They also get a huge return of Kevin Deemer for this season, healthy and ready to go. And those that don't know him, obviously the younger brother of former Regent Tony Deemer, who had a great career, but Kevin is a different player, different person than Tony. But the biggest thing is he is back healthy for the Regents, which makes them a very scary team. They open up the season with a non-conference game at Edgewood this Saturday, January 20th. Then they will begin South Division play on February 5th and 6th against Aurora. And the reason for that is the next team who would normally be in the South Division, Illinois Tech. They finished last season with a 12-14 overall record, 10-10 in the NACC before earning the 6th seat in the NACC tournament. As I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, they did decide to opt out of the 2020-2021 winter season. Again, hopefully their administration, coaches, and student athletes remain safe and doing well, and look forward to having them back next season. And hopefully we'll have a normal season. But there was a change in the coaching staff. Terrence Gray was an assistant, is named head coach in the summer of 2020. So there is the South Division: Benedictine, Aurora, Dominican, Concordia Chicago, Rockford, and then normally would have Illinois Tech in there as well. So a lot of changes, a lot of returners for a lot of different programs. But if you look back at the history of who's won, it's experience and upperclassmen. So if you look at the rosters and look at who's returning who and who's returning what, you can check things out and make that decision. But I think it's going to come down to experience. It's going to come down to upperclassmen playing huge roles. And if you look at the North Division, CU Dub certainly fits the bill with that, which, no surprise, they returned pretty much everybody from a team that went to the NCAA tournament and won the NACC tournament last season. And then Rockford returns 4 starters while adding a key member from the last Rockford team that went to the NACC tournament 2 years ago, who was a starter on that. So we returned 5 guys that have started, over 20 games in a region uniform. 3 of them together have played in over 50 games. So a lot of experience returns for Rockford. I think they're going to be a very strong team in the South. And then you got CU Dub returns quite a bit in the North. So it's going to be an interesting season. But a lot of games going on this week. As I mentioned before, Edgewood came up a little bit short last night against Laura, 67-65. Tonight, I'm planning on uploading this tonight. Maranatha is taking on Marion. And then Wednesday, Lakeland at Northwestern Minnesota, MSOE at CU Dub, which is a non-conference game. And then Thursday, MSOE at Maranatha. And then on Saturday, Rockford at Edgewood, CU Dub at Benedictine. Both of those games are non-conference. So, again, I'm glad everyone is back. I'm glad we get to have some sort of a season, even though it's a little bit different than what we would normally expect. But the biggest thing is I hope all coaches, administration, and student athletes stay healthy and there's no interruptions in the season, and we can have another exciting season. If you want to watch any games, I know a lot of schools have already come out with their spectator policies, and they are not allowing fans for the games, but all institutions have free live streaming, so definitely check that out. You can find the links either on the NACC page if you go to the NACC scheduling under men's basketball, or to each institution's athletic website. So definitely check those out. Watch exciting basketball, talented players out there who are trying to make the best of a tough situation. So glad basketball is back. Go NACC.